SpaceX finally revealed new Raptor engine. Hello space enthusiasts, and welcome to another interesting video from our channel. The Mars-bound rocket Starship from SpaceX is getting a major upgrade. SpaceX is developing the world's largest and most powerful spacecraft, the Starship that enables Musk realize his dream of establishing a permanent habitation on Mars, opening up new frontiers in space for humanity. However, the Starship depends on the Raptor rocket engine, right? That's why SpaceX revealed that their previous engine, the Raptor, is undergoing a makeover that will bring change. In this video, we'll tell you all we know so far about the new SpaceX Raptor engine. But before we get into the facts, make sure you subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell to receive more exciting updates later on. The SpaceX Raptor 2, or version 2.0 according to Musk, is a significant increase in terms of simplification over Raptor 1. The primary difference between the Raptor 1 and Raptor 2 engines includes cleaner plumbing and wire harness, as well as a bigger combustion chamber throughout, which lets the engine deliver greater thrust in about the same package at the cost of a tiny efficiency loss. Throughout the last 2 years, the CEO has mentioned a power-optimized Raptor variant with up to 300 tons of thrust, but in recent months, Musk has stated that SpaceX has decided to keep the Raptor family as streamlined as possible, opting for only 2 variants, one with a sea-level nozzle and one with a larger vacuum-optimized nozzle. It's a freshened version of the Raptor engine that occurs at the moment. Furthermore, it represents a significant increase in power over the previous Raptor engine, which was utilized in the Falcon 9 rocket and was dubbed BFR. The previous engine used rocket propellant, but this one will use liquid oxygen and methane as fuel. The SpaceX Raptor 2 is designed to transport astronauts and return them safely. Awesome, right? The SpaceX Raptor 2 engine is used for Starship test flights, the most recent of which took place in May 2021 and achieved a height of 33,000 feet. By comparison, the Saturn V, which last flew in 1973 and only produced 7.6 million pounds of thrust, was the most powerful rocket ever launched. When it comes to payload capacity, the company has been a little more evasive. According to its website, it can lift more than 100 metric tons into low Earth orbit. The Raptor's powers for the Starship 2 components. The Starship is composed of 2 components. The ship itself is also termed the Starship, which is 160 feet tall and contains cargo and crew. The 230-foot-tall booster aids the ship's departure from the planet. The entire height of the structure is planned to be 400 feet. The Raptor is in charge of both, and the ship has 6 engines. In 2019, Musk stated that the booster may hold anywhere from 24 to 37 engines. Furthermore, SpaceX has plenty of rocket engines on hand. For example, SpaceX's Falcon Heavy powerhouse is powered by a group of Merlin engines developed by the company. Raptor would mirror SpaceX's Merlin engine family, which has been comprised of 2 common-sized sea-level and vacuum variants, the Merlin 1 and Merlin Vacuum, for more than a decade. Under Musk's new paradigm, the Merlin engine, which is recoverable and reusable, produced 845 kilonewtons of thrust by using propellant created from RP-1 and liquid oxygen at sea level. To enhance the engine's efficiency, the vacuum model uses the same fuel but has a much larger expansion nozzle. When the spacecraft is in vacuum in orbit, it produces 981 kilonewtons of thrust, according to SpaceX, making it the most efficient American-made hydrocarbon rocket engine ever. However, the Merlin engine proved insufficient for the Starship, so SpaceX opted to create and refine a completely new rocket engine, in which the Raptor engine has also 2 variants, and let's get to know about it. The 2 variants of the Raptor engine. There are 2 variants of the Raptor engine. The sea-level variant, in which this type will be used by the Super Heavy booster. It will be made up of 3 of the ship's 6 engines. The vacuum variant comes next. This is the space-optimized form, which will employ 3 of the ship's 6 engines. The sea-level variant is expected to have a thrust of 200 tons, but plans are in the works to expand it to 250 tons. The current plan is to boost Raptor thrust to 230 tons, 500 million pounds, and raise the number of booster engines to 32 or 33. All Raptors on boosters would be the same, whether fixed or gimbaled. The 33 by 230 generates 7,600 tons of thrust and has a TW of 1.5. This implies that Raptor 2 is a somewhat more powerful engine than the previous. SpaceX test with Raptor engine. According to that plan, SpaceX is well into the process of qualifying Raptor for the Starship's first orbital launch temperatures, which are 10 seconds shy of 3 minutes. The Starship's extremely heavy booster will shut down and separate from the spacecraft after being left off. The Starship will next fire up 3 or 6 Raptor engines for a little less than 6 minutes to accelerate to orbital velocity. Surprisingly, the same timeline includes no mention of a deorbit burn, which would render the first orbital test flight suborbital even if the Starship is approaching orbital velocity. Regardless, the document states that the Starship's orbital insertion burns will last around 5.5 to 6.5 minutes, depending on the Raptor engine's maximum stamina. In other words, without Raptor engines capable of continually functioning for about 6 minutes up until high altitude, the redesigned spaceship will never be able to enter orbit. Test flights of the Starship began in December 2020. The scope of Raptor's long-duration capabilities, as well as the current status of SpaceX testing, were effectively unconfirmed. Finally, as Musk points out, if SpaceX can enhance Raptor 2 to 230 tons of thrust, a super heavy booster with 33 nearly identical engines would have a peak liftoff thrust of roughly 7,600 tons, corresponding to a thrust-to-weight ratio of more than 1.5 for a huge rocket with liquid propulsion. The launch pad lowers gravity losses in the initial few minutes of ascent, resulting in an immediate increase in overall efficiency. Musk's idea that 33 engines may be fitted and super heavy in the future is a change from the comments he made just a month ago when he revealed a base increase from 28 to 29 engines, with the possibility of growing to 32 engines in the future. Thus, it is an implication that SpaceX is considering adding 3 more vacuum-optimized engines to the Starship's 6 planned Raptors, leaving the ship with 6 Raptor vacuum engines and 3 sea-level optimized engines. Musk adds SpaceX hasn't decided if the Raptor vacuum will be colonized with the Raptor 2 raising its thrust, or if higher efficiency will be pursued anyway, even with 6,200-ton thrust and 3 Raptor 2s. The Starship would generate upwards of 2,000 tons of thrust and vacuum, resulting in an upper stage with nearly as much thrust as the Falcon Heavy and a fully fueled thrust-to-weight ratio of 1.7, which is even better than the Super Heavy. Raptor 2 production. With 800 to 1,000 engines finished each year, this may be extremely efficient, easily outpacing any other big liquid engine manufacturing in history. Technically, the Soviet Union was producing hundreds of R-7, Soyuz, booster engines every year at its peak in the 1970s and 1980s, and upwards of 1,000 plus per year if one counts the various types of engines on each R-7 Soyuz booster. However, no other single model of big liquid rocket engine has ever come close to meeting Musk's expectations for SpaceX's Raptor 2 factory's yearly production. According to Musk, a new cutting-edge SpaceX factory would eventually mass-produce between 800 and 1,000 Raptor 2 engines per year at the company's sprawling McGregor, Texas rocket development and testing facilities. As a result, it will have a daily capacity of between 2 and 4 engines. Musk claims that the factory will be the world's most advanced rocket manufacturing facility. In addition, a new test stand has been added to the McGregor site for testing the Raptor 2 sea-level variant. This improved version is now being tested by SpaceX. So what does Raptor 2 mean for Mars missions? SpaceX's Raptor rocket engine is meant to take humanity to Mars and beyond. The Raptor 2 could aid SpaceX's crewed expedition to Mars, which is planned to launch later this decade. The prior goal, according to SpaceX's website, was for the Super Heavy to have a thrust of 16 million pounds. According to Musk's comments, this price might approach 17 million pounds. Indeed, the SpaceX Raptor 2 is essentially an updated version of the Raptor. So what are your thoughts about it? What distinguishes it among others? Will it contribute greater in carrying people in the space and bringing them back? We'd love to hear what you have to say in the comment section below. Please like and share this video and subscribe to our channel for more amazing space updates. Until next time, stay safe.